Liverpool 5, Everton 2. Finally, it was a result that actually didn't end in 2-1. I mean, it's been a long time coming. I mean, God knows how many times it's actually been us winning by more than one goal and it being 2-1. I have no idea how long that's been, and thank God that we've finally done it. It's your boy Ojo Samir, and this is the post-match review and post-match analysis and player review and player ratings of obviously the Merseyside derby. Liverpool beating Everton 5-2, and putting us, how many games now? We're on 43 points now. We've only drawn one, 14 wins on the bounce, and we're still 8 points ahead of Leicester, and who obviously won today 2-0, and City yesterday beating Burnley 4-1 quite convincingly as well. But yeah, great start, to be honest. I mean, I'm going to start off with the lineup, to be fair. When I actually looked at it, I'm not going to lie to you, I felt sick. I just didn't like the lineup. Obviously, the defence and the goalkeeper and all of the back five kind of explained it for himself. And to be honest, nothing surprised me there. It was just the midfield. So we had Gini Wijnaldum, Lallana and Milner. And then the front three as well was a bit weird to see, especially for such a big game. You know, obviously the Merseyside derby. I know Everton right now aren't in the best place because they're right now in the relegation zone, which is absolutely perfect. But yeah, I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I generally like that the midfield, Milner, Lallana, and Gini Wijnaldum. It didn't sit well with me, to be honest. And the attack, I mean, to be fair, I wasn't too worried about the attack. Out of all of them, that's probably the bit, you know, if you gave me a choice between which one to be more annoyed about, the midfield or the attack, for me, it was personally the midfield. Because if, you know, a lot of people have short memories, but that was the midfield that did end up shipping 4 against Barcelona. I mean, the attack, that shipped 4 against Barcelona. So it was a pretty decent attack today. It was just the midfield. I felt the Ox or could have started today. I know it's a reoccurring theme, but maybe, I don't know, maybe that could mean that hopefully, because Henderson doesn't really play midweek games. I think there was a stat that says that after a Saturday kickoff, he hasn't played a Wednesday game for a year, I think. Don't take my word for it, but I'm pretty sure that is the stat. And then didn't surprise me to not see Henderson. I was just surprised not to see Kale or the Ox today. That was the one that I was a bit shocked, which again is a reoccurring theme regarding Liverpool. But then the front three I was quite happy with, to be honest. And we started on the front foot. I mean, a very good start. Everton did look up for it. I mean, even though Everton haven't been playing quite well, it did look quite up for it today. And we get the ball. Mane gets the ball and he played brilliantly today. But Mane gets the ball and just manages to just do a brilliant slide pass into Divock Origi, and Divock Origi just does brilliantly. I mean, it seems like Michael Keane just gave up and as soon as Divock Origi got the ball, goes past Pickford and just slots it into an open net to make it 1-0. And it was a brilliant, I mean, for me, even though Divock Origi did get the finish, it was Mane's goal there because that pass was just immaculate. Then the second, and we were just brilliant. I mean, there was a few times when Everton did manage to get a few chances here and there, but again, it didn't really lead to much. There was a few times, a few crosses in the box and whatnot, but we do manage to get the second goal where, again, this goal was just, and then especially in the first half, our long balls were just, it was a long ball first half. I mean, it was in a brilliant way, not like in a Brexit football kind of way, despite the midfield. It was just, especially from the defenders, the long balls was just so good. I mean, I think this time it was Trent who gets the ball on that right-hand side and just, it was, I don't know if you guys remember that 2013-14 season when Gerrard was playing that quarterback role. I know quarterback is an American football term, but you get what I mean. He gets the ball from deep and just pings it across. And that, our defence today, it seemed like that's all they were doing. They were literally just playing, we had 4 quarterbacks because it was just absolutely amazing. Trent gets the ball and just fizzes it across over into Sadio Mane, and then Mane just sees It's brilliant. I mean, sees Shaqiri does a little slide pass in behind the defense, and then Shaqiri doesn't get the best connection to it, but does enough to actually slide it into the bottom corner. And to be fair, we have been missing Shaqiri. I mean, it's been a while since he's played, and he's barely played. I'm not sure if it's due to injury or whatever. I think injuries have plagued him and whatnot, and him just not being fully match fit. But today, all fair play to him. He played all 90 minutes, and he looked match fit, which is, I'll get onto, once I go into the player ratings and all that, I'll get onto, the players that don't normally play today. And then the third goal, the third goal of the game does end up going to Everton, who they did look all right, but it was really frustrating because for all of Liverpool's attacking brilliance, I mean, we played very, very well, and for their attacking brilliance, it just defensive mistakes today was just what caused us. And then this time it was from a corner which was poorly dealt with at the start from Xherdan Shaqiri, who again had a very good game today. But it was poorly dealt with from him. He tried clearing the ball out, I think on his right foot, obviously his weaker foot, and then it ends up going for a corner. And then from the corner, it just gets poorly. It's just poorly played from Dejan Lovren. Dejan Lovren tries to clear the ball out. He ends up slipping, losing his balance, and Michael Keane manages to just get a little clip on over Adrian and makes it 2-1. And it was very frustrating because again we were playing such good football, and Dejan Lovren just doing sometimes what Dejan Lovren does. It looked like he was, especially from that moment, he looked like he was playing a very good performance. He was putting in a good shift, really. He was doing well, keeping them at bay, really. Didn't really do much, and it was just it was very good. And then, but luckily, like 10 minutes later, I mean, I know what I was saying about Dejan Lovren making up, doing a silly error, but it was that ball into Divock Origi was just amazing. And when I said that our defense today was just playing there were literally 4 quarterbacks. This is what I'm talking about. I mean, Lovren is not one for the long ball. He's quite, he would just defend and just pass the ball to, let's say, for example, Van Dijk or to Trent or to Robertson, and they normally do the long balls and the crosses and the diagonals and whatnot. But then, to my surprise, Dejan Lovren with a brilliant ball over the top sees Divock Origi, and I think Mane as well were both running in between the centre backs. I think Mane doesn't get to the ball because their right centre back, I think it might have been Holgate, I'm not sure, manages to get a block on Sadio Mane, and Divock Origi touches it down brilliantly. And when I tell you, this guy, Divock Origi, man, first of all, I love the fact that he always scores against Everton, because obviously, to everyone, who's been following Liverpool for a very long time knows about how Divock Origi, under the first year at Klopp, with Klopp, was playing brilliantly. Took his place over Christian Benteke, who was out of favour, and played brilliantly. I mean, it was, vital for our Europa League run, and was just very, very good. And then obviously played against Everton, got I think goal or two, and then got injured by Finnes Murray, and that took a massive toll on his Liverpool career. And obviously revitalised it last year against Everton, last year with that weird goal, 96th minute, yeah. But it was very good to see Divock Origi just every single time he plays against Everton, it feels like he's just going to get a goal, and it was just brilliant to see. Brilliant finish. I mean, he gets the ball down and just it's such a satisfying goal, that one. He was so calm and composed, and it was just so good. I mean, he managed just to lift it over Pickford, get in between the defenders, and I was just loving it. I was really hoping for him to get a hat-trick today, but sadly he couldn't. It was just a very good performance from that front three, to be fair. And Sadio Mane, after that, felt a bit left out. He was doing so much. He was getting the assists. I think, does he get he gets 2 assists, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2 assists today. 2 assists. One for and then he gets the goal. And what a brilliant goal. I mean, I think it gets cleared from Van Dijk. Everton get on the attack. It gets cleared from Van Dijk, and Sadio Mane with it's one of those turns that if you do on the football pitch, it's just such a satisfying turn. You know, he gets it with the outside of the boot and just does a little flick on, gets past them. I can't remember who, but he gets past them, and it was just beautiful. Lays it off to Trent, and Trent, even though it's not his side, he's obviously a right back. He was playing down that left hand side. He just bombs forward. Shaqiri's on the right in so much space. Does really, really well to actually stay in line with the defense, but there was no need. I mean, the ball gets played into Sadio Mane, who just goes from, I don't know how many meters he ran, but he ran so many meters to cover that ground and just to get forward and try and get a goal. And he lays it off, and when Sadio Mane gets that ball, all he sees is that goal, and it was just a brilliant finish. He side foots it in, well, you know, does a little curler into the bottom corner to make it 4-1, and it looked like game over. That was it. Half time, we were going to go into 4-1, but again, the problem I've been having a little bit with Liverpool, especially this season, is kind of, with 43 points, we've dropped 2 points from 15 games, which is ridiculous. I mean, if we carry on at this rate, we're going to get... Yeah, we'll probably be over the 100 mark if we carry on at this rate, but we've been leaking so many goals, and, this is probably the first time in ages that we've actually conceded more than one goal. Actually thinking about it, I think it might be actually the first time this season in the Premier League that we conceded more than one goal. But yeah, it was a very good play from Everton, to be fair. That I think after the third goal that they conceded, they just threw in the towel. Fair play to Marco Silva. Decided to throw in the towel and just go in for the, says we've got nothing to lose here. We're already 3-1 down against the best team at the moment in the Premier League, and they went all guns blazing. And to be fair, the goal they scored was just. It was a very good goal. I mean, it's a bit sloppy from Liverpool. We gave the ball a few times, and now I don't know really who to blame for the goal. To be fair, I do feel like Trent could have done a bit better in closing him down, but at the same token, I do feel that Darren Lovren could have also done a bit better into getting tight with Richarlison, because obviously he does get the goal, and it was a good header. To be fair, I mean, Adrian for both goals couldn't really do much. And we get into the half 4-2, second half 4-2, and yeah, it was kind of weird. I was kind of expecting the second half to be more goals and it to be just hectic. I mean, this was a derby, to be fair. Me going into half time, I was just happy just to see us finally, even though we conceded just before half time, it was just great just to see us just be a bit more ruthless, because I do feel in the past few weeks we have been dominant but not been as ruthless as we could be. And even from the stats today, we had 5 shots, 5 on target, but Mane does kind of, change that. And the only bad thing I would say going into that second half was, two things I should say. Personally, I thought Adam Lallana's performance was out of the midfield poor. I mean, I'm very, sometimes I can be very critical of Milner, but, he was very good today. But yeah, I'll get into the player ratings in a bit. But yeah, the other thing was just, just leaking those goals. That was the only frustrating thing, because Everton, they had a few moments where, as I said, Darren Lovren did play very well, apart from those 2 mistakes. The first one I think was definitely his fault. The second one I think was a bit of both Trent and also Dejan Lovren. So yeah, I just thought there was one time when I think Richarlison does very well on that right hand side and manages to fist the ball across, and Dejan Lovren just does brilliantly just to get the ball, just get a little clip on, because if not, Dominic Calvert-Lewin was just going to get onto that 100%, and then it could have been a different game from there. So yeah, I thought he had a good half, and going on to the second half now, again, we just seemed to control possession, similar to the same start as the second half. When we started, it just seemed like we were just controlling possession, and again, we were just, overall, we were the better team. We were controlling possession, doing nothing. We had a few corners. There was one where, personally, I thought could have been a penalty towards to Liverpool regarding Virgil van Dijk. There was actually, two of the defenders in the box from a corner were just piled on him, and I do think it could have been a penalty. But by the same token, there was a shout for Everton in the first half to actually get a penalty. That was at 2-1. I think it was a brilliant ball, and then I think Calvert-Lewin gets in behind Virgil van Dijk, and any other referee could have also given it as a penalty, and that could have been 2-2. But luckily for us, it wasn't given as a penalty. And, we could have got a penalty ourselves, but it wasn't given. But yeah, as I said, I was just again, we were just, to be fair, it was kind of a weird one because we were dominant but didn't have like a load of chances. There was a few, I think mainly towards the end of the game, that was when the chances started going in. And yeah, there was a few times when we were in around the penalty box. There was one when Divock Origi does very well to keep the ball, and just luckily unluckily the shot doesn't actually go off for him. But then, as I said, Lallana for me just played awful. And then when Henderson actually came on, that is when our attack, we looked so much better offensively. He played he played a bit more further up. Gini Wijnaldum played a bit deeper, and we looked so much better. I mean, Mane had two brilliant chances where he could have did a masterclass. He could have had 3 goals and 2 assists, and that would have been brilliant. And you know, literally 2 identical chances more or less. A ball from Henderson gets played into Sadio Mane. The first one, it looks like a goal. It looks like a little bit of a tussle between between Gini Wijnaldum and Mane. Mane decides to goes to the ball, and then somehow this is Sadio Mane, the guy who missed the clutch, it's just normally those chances he takes them, but then sometimes, kind of like the Napoli game last season at home, it just didn't seem like he was going to take them. He didn't take them, and whether he was thinking too much about it, I have no idea, but he should have slotted it in bottom corner. He ends up hitting it wide, Lord knows how, and then towards the end again, Henderson plays a brilliant ball again, and Sadio Mane, with all the time in the world, all he had to do was just slot it in. He tried being a bit too cute about it, tried going past the goalkeeper, and even still when he went past the goalkeeper, even though he was a bit under pressure, it still looked like he could have got a chance off. And I think Michael Keane does very well to actually get the ball off him, and he tries to recycle it. The play gets finished, and I was a bit frustrated because obviously just heard that it would be the first time since like 30, 40 years that Liverpool actually scored 5 goals against Everton. And luckily for us, when Firmino came on, looked quite well, and he comes on, does brilliantly down that left-hand side, gets past, I think it wasn't Sidibe because he came off. Can't remember who, but he manages to do well to get past them. And then gets the ball, cuts it back into Gini Wijnaldum, and then Gini Wijnaldum with a brilliant finish into the bottom right hand corner to make it 5-2. And as I said, our first convincing result in God knows how long. If I get the Liverpool's past results, I generally don't know. I mean, we had 60% possession, 5 shots on target, as I said, and 11 off target. Everton actually had more shots off target, but to be fair, I mean, Adrian had a few saves, but again, barred the Richarlison header, which was probably their best chance of this, and the Moise Kean, actually. Moise Kean actually had a very good chance to also score. Those, for me, were probably Everton's 2 best chances, but again, that was at 4-2. So, you know, it could have changed the balance, but again, I don't really think it would have. But yeah, Richarlison had a good header, went straight at the keeper, and then, Moise Kean, after the Mane miss, I think the first one, he gets slotted through one-on-one with the goalkeeper and just manages to hit it wide, to be honest. I mean, should have done better there, but to be honest, I don't care. But yeah, we dominated. We had 60% possession. And yeah, we were just really clinical, to be honest, today. And then, yeah, going into player ratings, Adrian, I thought, yeah, played well. Couldn't really do much about the goals that we conceded. Richarlison's header was bottom corner, and Michael Keane was a good finish. And then what other goal was it? There was, and then the save, decent save, didn't really have to do much. Again, he had another one from Tom Davies, which went straight at him. But yeah, he didn't really have to do much. Did well. His distribution was all right. I mean, obviously it's not Alisson Becker's level, but again, was all right. Defense, I thought for me, Trent was amazing today. Could have potentially actually got a red card, which was a bit mad, but I would have been very harsh if he did for a second yellow. But yeah, I thought he played brilliantly today. Defensively was very good. In attack was brilliant as well for me. Did I give Adrian? I'll say 7 out of 10. But yeah, Trent, I'd give him, for me, there's a few 10 out of 10s today, by the way. But yeah, 10 out of 10 performance for me. Brilliant defensively, brilliant in defensively and in attack. obviously got an assist for Sadio Mane's goal, and just was always an option out wide, and as he always is. And then we got Dejan Lovren. I mean, to be honest, after this first half, I honestly expected him to score a goal because it was just, it was just one of those where it just felt like a Dejan Lovren goal, was going to come. But but it was a bit of a weird one. Obviously, he was a bit at fault for the second goal, but was at fault for the first one. But definitely made a brilliant assist, stopped a few good chances as well. I think for me, I'm going to say 8 out of 10, which is a bit mad to give to a defence that conceded 2 goals, and he was at fault for some of them, but that assist alone, like that, if he hadn't made those mistakes, it would have been a 10 out of 10 just for that assist and the goal that he stopped as well. So 8 out of 10 for me for Dejan Lovren. Then Van Dijk. Again, was very good. A bit lucky to not concede a penalty, to be honest, but overall was very good. Could have got a penalty himself. But yeah, again, this is why he is the best centre back in the world. He just does what he has to do consistently. Today, it wasn't like against Brighton performance, but again, it was a very, very good performance. So no, not really any mistakes really or anything like that. Cleared the ball, was actually part of the fourth goal, the Sadio Mane's goal. So yeah, for me, 9 out of 10 was very, very good today, and can't really fault him. He's always faultless. Now Andy Robertson, I think he would have ruffled. I mean, if I was an Everton fan, I'm pretty sure a lot of Everton fans, he ruffled a few feathers today, especially after the clash with Tom Davies and him just physically laughing in his face. But yeah, again, very good performance, good defensively, good in attack as well. Was always an option. Sadly, didn't get an assist, which I'm pretty sure he's a bit annoyed about because obviously Trent got the assist today. But yeah, again, I think a solid performance from the defence, which is very surprising because obviously they conceded 2 goals. In probably any other day, probably would have been given. But yeah, we'll win the front foot most of the time. And yeah, so I'm going to give him 8 out of 10. And then the midfield. Now, Gini Wijnaldum, to be honest, I thought even before the goal, he was playing quite well. Kept the ball, just, was passing it. He was driving forward from time, even though he was playing in a more deeper role. So yeah, I'm actually going to, again, another 8 out of 10 so far. You know what, Adrian, you also get 8 out of 10 as well. You weren't at fault with it and you didn't do anything wrong. Screw it, 8 out of 10. Gini Wijnaldum got the goal. Solid performance, it was a solid 7 out of 10 performance. But because of the goal, I was going to say an 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, let's give him that because of the goal. And then Lallana. I'm sorry, guys, but for me, out of the midfield, he was the one that killed the vibe for me. Gave the ball away a few times in, good places. There was one where Mane was literally on the edge of the box, was not free, but he had area to work with in space, and he just gave it straight to their centre-backs. And there was a few times where he'd stupidly give away a foul or something like that, and it was just a bit frustrating, if I'm being completely honest. So for me, I'm just going to give him a 6 out of 10. I don't know how I feel about Lallana. Hopefully, I think this is his last season anyway, and we're probably going to bring in other people, but today wasn't his best showing, if I'm being completely honest. Obviously, the natural ability is there, but yeah, I just felt it was a bit reckless at time. Gave away a few fouls. There was one, I think, due to a high foot in a good area in the second half where luckily Digne, in any other day he could have scored. But yeah, actually speaking of that, Robertson as well, that's another problem. There was one thing that could have bitten us on the backside, but sometimes he does tend to give away stupid fouls as well. But I'm still going to give the same rating for Robertson. He played very well nevertheless. Milner, I actually, sometimes I can be very critical of Milner, but today was very good. I honestly thought he was very, very good. He, got stuck in when he had to, which is kind of what you got to do in a derby. Sometimes football gets, especially after 3-1-ish, round then, that's when it seemed like football just went out the window. There was tackles flying in everywhere and all of that. And Milner was very, very good today, getting in those tackles, clearing the ball when he had to, calming down the play. I thought it was very, very good. So yeah, another 8 out of 10 performance. Now the front three. Honestly, it's okay for me to give 10 out of 10 for all the front three. Mane was sublime. I mean, Lord knows how he didn't score those other 2 opportunities late on. But the game was, in hindsight, the game was already won. But yeah, those 2 brilliant chances, I would have given him a 12 out of 10. But yeah, he played brilliantly. He got 2 assists. Was just a threat throughout the whole game, and obviously took his goal brilliantly, which, funnily enough, that finish, the goal that he actually scored, was probably more difficult than the 2 chances he had towards the end of the game. Divock Origi, Mr. Iceman, that's his name from now on. Bro, how the hell he doesn't celebrate, I have no idea. He just does his job and just says, yeah, I'm a striker, my job's to score goals, why should I celebrate scoring goals? He is a different breed of it. I mean, the goals he scored today, he took them brilliantly. The level of composure that he took, especially for that second goal that he scored, was just amazing. And all credit to him, man. Honestly, I hope, part of me doesn't hope that he should get into the Belgian team, but I definitely think he's actually in a good running for the Euros, because he has been very good, especially when he plays in that striker role. He was just a threat constantly today, and I really wanted him to get a hat-trick, but he got subbed off beforehand. But yeah, he played very, very well today. So yeah, 10 out of 10 for me. And then Shaqiri, he's not played in God knows how long, but he looked so sharp today. He looked so sharp. He looked on it. He was doing some few skills here and there. He was looking all, it was all good. And also, he took his goal quite well as well. And he was just always a threat. As I said, the front three was just very, very good. And now, moving on to the subs. Joe Gomez, came on late on and did all right. There was one time where the ball gets played over the top, does well to intercept the ball. And overall, I thought he played quite well. So yeah, I'm just going to say 7 out of 10. It was quite good. Henderson coming off for Lallana. I was waiting for midfielder to actually bring off Lallana. I thought it was going to happen around a bit earlier on than when it actually did. But, created 2 great chances for Sadio Mane. Was very good, got into the derby vibe. It was very good. So again, I'm going to say 8 out of 10. He was very influential when he came on. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for me. And then Firmino. Just best in the world is Bobby Firmino. That's all I've got to say. Si, senor. I mean, got an assist. Brilliant work for the assist for Gini Wijnaldum's goal. And yeah, it was just good, for the time. It was a great cameo, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to say out of 10 again. It was just brilliant. We've got 43 points. And there's a lot of positives to take from this result. Even though we did concede 2 goals, which is very frustrating, there are a lot of positives to take from this. 2 players, a few players that have come back who have barely played, Milner, Lallana and Shaqiri. Shaqiri hasn't played and got a goal today. Origi, a bench player, even though we all loved Origi, let's be honest here, but a player who normally plays with the bench, and to show that, especially in this busy period in December, to show that we've got players like Shaqiri who can come in, albeit not a good Everton side, but that can come in and make such a difference, is great. Nice to see Shaqiri fully fit. Also gives a rest for the likes of Mane, Firmino and Salah, which is great to see. And hopefully, I'm just hoping that, because next we do have, let me just check, I'm pretty sure it's Bournemouth next, if I'm not mistaken. I think we've got Bournemouth next, so let me just have a look quickly. Because if we've got Bournemouth next, then that is the perfect game for, I think we've got Bournemouth next, but yeah, my laptop's all weird, but I'm pretty sure we've got Bournemouth next, so it'll be a perfect game just to see, Naby Keita last year performed a masterclass on it, but last year against Bournemouth, so in both home and away, so I'm hoping that, and Ox hopefully will also play against them as well, but yeah, top of the league, 43 points after 15 games, we're going into a tough December. Oh my God. It's got to be our year this year. It's got to be. We're just running riot. Even though we're conceding, we're running riot nevertheless. It's your boy, Ojo Isam. If you guys did like the video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also give me your opinions on the game. If you're an Evertonian, whatever team you support, let me know what your opinions on the game were. Also, subscribe if you are new to the channel. We are so close to 300 subscribers. So please smash that like, subscribe button, and also hit the notification bell as well. So whenever I upload, you'll know when it's uploaded. Sorry it's a bit of a long one, but it's your boy Ojo Isam here. I'm having a very, very nice day, and I hope you guys are too. See ya.